Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today I just kind of want to highlight where I think the money is about to start flowing into as far as what sector in crypto that I think is going to potentially pump next. We're already seeing it. We're already seeing some of the, the highlight coins that we highlight on the channel quite often in that narrative pump and kind of, react strongly here recently to the liquidity shift. And as always, guys, before we kind of get into the thick of the video, if you guys get value out of the content here, consider subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. Your support means everything. So we take a look across the markets. Obviously, we see Bitcoin is closing back in on that 100K mark. Again, I don't believe we've broken it quite yet, but we're getting very, very close. I do think 100K is going to happen before the end of the year, which is nuts to say if you would have told us a year ago. But either way, we're seeing a lot of the altcoins, in the top, 100 do pretty well here over the 7-day. Obviously, there's a little bit of red today, but over the 7-day, everything's still performing quite well. Now, where has the money been recently, over the last several months in the majority of the cycle? Well, we've seen memes kind of take over the fall of this year. Recently, we've seen a lot of top quality memes, getting listed on the major exchange listings. We saw all the hype and fiasco happening with Pump Fund, with launches happening every single day. We're even seeing celebrities launch meme coins, like I think Hawktua, the Hawktua girl launched her Hawk coin today, and that did, not great as to be expected, honestly, with something like that. But either way, I think memes, there will always be a place for memes, and I think all the sectors we're going to be talking about here in a little bit are going to stay and be hot throughout the cycle. But for right now, where I think potentially the attention and the money is going to start moving into, which has been overshadowed, is gaming. Because again, we've seen memes, do well. I think memes is kind of cooling off a little bit. Then we saw AI memes, then we saw AI agents, but I think is still going to play out here for a little bit. But again, so we went from memes, then AI, and then I think that gaming just makes sense as one of the next narratives to pump. Again, we have major catalysts happening with more quality games coming to market, more TGEs happening, and we have stuff like Off the Grid, which is, the top, in my opinion, I think everyone would agree, the top Web3 game in the space. It's getting streamed, and there's talks of, or speculation of the TGE, the gun token, to be launching either this month or Q1 2025. Again, we'll see when that launches, but I do think that could be a potential huge catalyst for the gaming sector as a whole. But when we take a look at gaming, again, we can see over the 30-day, the whole market cap of gaming has it's done more than a 2x across the whole sector. So that's why we're seeing a lot of the top projects in the gaming sector start to run. I mean, we're seeing stuff like Immutable, which is a big coin, up 13%. Sandbox, even these old coins like Sandbox and Decentraland still up. Beam, going from under 1 billion up to almost like a 1.6 billion. Even Gala's pumping, which to be expected. Again, when you have stuff like Sandbox and Decentraland pumping, things from the last cycle, they're bound to pump. But again, we're seeing all these major gaming coins start to pump, and I don't think that this isn't going to stop anytime soon. I do think that gaming is going to start catching some of those some of those bids, some of that liquidity that we've seen shift from memes to AI agents, and now I think that gaming is about to take some of that money also. We did see here a couple days ago like a little mini RWA pump, but again, I do think all these are still top quality narratives. I don't think that the pumps we're seeing on these is the beginning and the end. I do think that they are going to continue pumping throughout the cycle. Yes, certain narratives will pump harder than others at certain times, but I do think we're about to start seeing some more money flow into the gaming sector. Now, a couple of projects I wanted to highlight here that, again, we've been talking about some of these for years, but we've been talking about these often, the entire year. Even throughout the bear market, Seedify.fund was one that I've been telling you guys about because launchpads do super well when, the sector, when the gaming sector and the overall market starts to heat up again, because yes, throughout a bear market or even like the summer that we've seen here recently, launchpads do take a hit because not a whole lot of projects are coming to market, not a whole lot of TGs are happening, and there's not a lot of hype and speculation on new altcoin launches when the market isn't really that hot. But we saw about a year ago, Seedify.fund went from like 50 cents all the way up to $3 to $5, which is a good return, especially one that we were accumulating throughout the bear market. Again, with all of these, if we reference, the bear market, you guys can find those videos on the channel. We've been here for years telling you guys, some of our picks, and Seedify.fund is definitely one of them. And they did go ahead, and again, with their launches here, you do have to hold the Seedify.fund and stake it to participate in launches. Although they did go ahead and make this new part of their ecosystem, which is that they actually have open launches, which means that it opens it up to a lot more people to take part in their launches, where you don't have to have Seedify.fund, the S-Fund token staked. A lot going on with Seedify.fund. Again, that's for another video, but I am bullish on Seedify.fund. And again, that theory is proven when they're up 95% on the 1 month, as the markets are heating up, as gaming, again, as an overall sector has 2x'd over the last 30 days. It only makes sense that Seedify.fund is reacting this way. And they're also launching more than just gaming projects. They're launching other projects like Playable Finance, even Agents AI recently. So they're getting into other narratives, not just gaming, although I do think a lot of people do still put it in the gaming bucket, and I do still believe that it is the top gaming launchpad, so I think it will continue to perform quite well. Next one is Karrat. Karrat has been consolidating for quite a while. Again, this is one that I've been telling you guys, and I know I sound like a broken record sometimes, but I'm telling you guys, Karrat has been trading sideways in an accumulation phase all summer long. Everyone was, pretty terrified of the first major unlock, I believe, in October, but as we called, it's more of, I believe, kind of like sell the news leading up to it, or sell the rumor, or buy the rumor, sell the news. Sorry, tongue twist. But either way, I think there was a lot of fear leading up to the first unlock, and then not a whole lot happened. So I think it was a huge sell-off, and then the first unlock happened, and then it kind of went sideways for a little bit, and now we're seeing a breakout out of that like 45 to 50 cent range. So Karrat is also up 55%. I mean, this thing touched 75 cents earlier today, this morning, and I do think that Karrat, it might not be in the next couple days, but I do think before the end of the year, Karrat is on its way back to well over $1. That is my opinion. Again, there's not really that much dilution here between now and the end of 2025. They did go ahead and move to more of a studio ecosystem play as well, so it's not just the Karrat with the My Pet Hooligan game, even though they have that AI side of their ecosystem as well. And if you guys want more individual information on all these projects, we've made videos and talked about all these individual projects multiple times on the channel. Again, these aren't just one-hit wonders. These are ones that we've talked about and been accumulating openly to you guys for, again, some of these for years, but some of these all year long. Even last year, we've been telling you guys that these have been undervalued all summer long. So let me know in the comments below if you guys took action there, if you're catching any of the wins, either on these coins or even on any coins of the gaming sector. Let me know. I'd love to hear some of your guys' picks. So Karrat, in my opinion, yes, it did run up here pretty severely. It's on a nice little pullback. If we go to the 1 day, again, it went all the way up to like 76 cents from 58 cents. So I think Karrat is going to continue to do quite well, and I do think it's going to be one of the leading performers in the gaming sector throughout the cycle. Next one is Playable Games. Obviously, we've seen Avalanche do pretty insane things. They did go ahead and roll out as Playable Games is built on, it has a subnet on Avalanche. We did see that Avalanche did go ahead and roll out their Avalanche 9000, which if you don't know what that is, we did make a video on it on the channel. You can look back a couple videos and see, again, what that means for Avalanche as an ecosystem, because I do think that Avalanche, we've been saying that Avalanche is kind of a catch-up trade to Solana. When we take a look at Solana, again, trading at over $100 billion market cap, well, Avalanche did go ahead and go from like a $12 to $13 billion market cap all the way up to over $20 billion, again, like on the 1 month, because a lot of bullish things are happening on Avalanche, which only makes sense that the ecosystem coins, gaming projects built on Avalanche are getting a lot of that liquidity as the main chain starts to heat up, which is Playable Games. They've also gone ahead and introduced an AI part of their ecosystem. Again, a video for here in a couple days, but they did go ahead and introduce an AI part of their ecosystem coming here soon. They put out their new roadmap. They have been going to other events. They had more games come live to the Epic Games Store. They have other games in the pipeline. This is also one that we've been telling you all summer was extremely undervalued. I mean, at one point, this thing was trading under 0.001. Great accumulation. I was very, very open about that as well, letting you guys know that, hey, this is going to rip and this is going to pump when gaming turns around, because we saw it. We saw it at the end of last year. This thing did like over a 10x. We were there. We caught it. The videos are there, when gaming ran in Q4 of last year of 2023. So it made sense to expect us to maybe have the same kind of, price appreciation when gaming flipped and turned bullish again. So I do believe that's what we're seeing here. And it does help that obviously Avalanche has had the updates that it has had recently. the Avalanche is also pumping again, and I think the Avalanche isn't done. I think Avalanche is continuing to pump throughout the cycle. I do think it's going to break its previous all-time highs as far as market cap goes later in the cycle. Who knows when, but when that happens, I fully expect, just like what we're seeing here in a mini, bite-sized version, I think Avalanche ecosystem plays are going to do extremely well, and not just gaming, but the whole ecosystem. But it does help that Playable games is built on Avalanche. So again, that's what's going on there. Qorpo World, this is one that we've covered multiple times. I mean, all these projects, but Qorpo World, they've also, been trading pretty sideways. They had some dilution issues, since their launch, but now I believe that there's really not a whole lot of dilution between now and the next couple months, I believe, as well. So a lot of the big unlocks, I think, did happen back in August, but, we caught this very, very early on, right when it launched at about a $7 million market cap, and then it went ahead and shot all the way up to about a $35 million market cap. So that did quite well for us as well. But either way, when we look over the 1 month, it is also up 80% on the 1 month. So you're starting to see a trend here. What's interesting is that, yes, some of the top gaming plays are also running, like we said, Immutable X, Beam, just to name a couple. But even these low market cap plays are now starting to get attention as well. Now, what we see here, I think, is a small little preview, because I think that there is still a lot more to go in this cycle. And we're seeing, in my opinion, what low caps are going to start catching some of the liquidity when the real party, the real altcoin season, and the full gaming narrative does actually take shape. Because I think the money is starting to flow into gaming, but I do not think that this is the start of a true blow off top gaming run. I do think it's just a small little preview of what is yet to come. So as we're seeing, a lot of these are dipping. A lot of the market is dipping today. So just be aware of that. All these have had aggressive pumps over the 7 days, over the 1 month. So do expect maybe potential pullbacks on all of them. I'm not saying to buy any of these today. You do you. Nothing I say is financial advice. Obviously, I'm just giving you guys my opinion and reflecting how some of the altcoins we cover are performing now that gaming is starting to get a little bit of attention again. OTK, mobile gaming project on Solana. We already know how Solana has performed this cycle, that Solana is going to continue to be a hot ecosystem as well. And, we've been saying it, even though out of nowhere XRP is coming out and flipping Solana. But I do think if any chain is going to flip Ethereum, I don't know if it's going to happen. Nobody does, and that'd be pretty insane to see. But I do think Solana has the closest chance to at least closing the gap, the smallest, to Ethereum as far as market cap goes this cycle. But we'll see what happens there. But either way, OTK, this is one that I was shouting at you guys over the summer when this thing went beneath a $5 million market cap. It was crazy. And then we were here. The video is there. Again, if you guys want to reference to it on the channel, then they did go ahead and make that partnership with Bonk when the meme coin Bonk on Solana, when they did the Bonk run game, like the football game. Then they had a couple more updates, and then this thing did almost like a 3x in a very short time period. And then it has been just consolidating like around a $10 million market cap. And then even here recently, we saw it go down again to like almost like getting close to like a $5 million market cap here. That is why it's up almost a 2x over the 30-day. And they say they have pretty big announcements coming soon. So OTK is one that I still think is going to perform. And another thing to highlight is that if you think you've missed the gaming run because you see a lot of green, a lot of 2x's on this video, you haven't. Now, yes, a lot of these could have pullbacks and have potential to do so because a lot of them have ran pretty aggressively. But again, referring back to, I don't think this is the true gaming run, even though I do think that you are running out of time. I don't want anyone to FOMO. That's not what this is. I'm just letting you know that I do think that as the market continues with every day passing, I do think we're getting closer to the blow off top as we are the bottom. If that makes sense, you're running out of time. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but you're running out of time to accumulate at these low, almost bear-like prices, as we are seeing a lot of altcoins starting to 2x, 3x, 5, some 10x in a very short time period. So either way, just want to make note of that. One that has been getting a lot of hate recently, but as you guys know, we have been holding GameSwift, is GameSwift. This thing is up almost a 2 to 3x on the 1 month. Now, one big catalyst, I think, is what's happening with GameSwift. They've done a lot. We've seen, here over the last couple months, we've seen GameSwift go ahead and change their tokenomics. This is not the correct market cap. I think it's a lot higher than this. At this point, I think it's almost like a 50 million or something circulating. But now there's I think less than a 2x in dilution between, I mean, just in period as well. Just coin market cap has not updated. You can find the correct market cap, I believe, on Crypto Rank or CoinGecko, but I think it is a little bit higher than this. It's like 50 million or something like that. But either way, you know, it's gone ahead and they've changed their tokenomics. They have constant updates to their ecosystem. They keep, you know, their socials active. And I think one of the big catalysts for this recent pump is they did go ahead and I believe airdropped GameSwift stakers and holders the AI Fund token, which is a project in the AI space that has gone crazy here recently. They've gone to they did like a 15 or 18x on AI Fund. So I do think, obviously, when holders get rewarded and stakers as well, that's kind of a big price appreciation to a loyal community for a project. So again, GameSwift is one that I remain bullish on. Again, you guys know that. It's probably one of the, admittedly, one of the ones you guys disagree with, or I get comments about on a lot of the GameSwift videos quite often. But I mean, either way, you cannot deny that, you know, GameSwift is performing quite well. Again, it is broken out. We haven't seen these prices, you know, since beginning of this year, the first half of this year. So, and again, we look at where it's standing right now. It's still performing quite well. So this thing could keep going a little bit, but just like everything else, I do fully expect a potential pullback. But GameSwift is one that I think has been slept on, beaten up, and overlooked for so long that I'm glad to see it performing the way it is. So again, shout out to anyone who kept faith in GameSwift. I do think it's going to keep going, in my opinion. Now, finally, here's one that we don't talk about a whole lot, but I still hold in my portfolio. If you guys were around with me throughout the bear market, you know that Altura was my #1 gaming play all bear market. You know, we were accumulating Altura because I told you guys, not that it is the main thing, but I did make note to you guys that, hey, Alex Becker, you know, pumped Altura last market. He's a big fan of it. There's a good chance he's going to pump it again this market, which is exactly what he did. And on top of that, Altura is just a good project. They do have a good ecosystem. They actually have a utility. They're building a lot of like NFT marketplaces, you know, for other projects. And they actually did just introduce, again, an AI part of their ecosystem. So a lot of things going on with Altura, but I mean, we were accumulating Altura. If you were here, again, you can reference to the channel, to the videos. We were accumulating it extremely cheap. I mean, dirt cheap back in 2022. I mean, it was under a penny for Altura for us. So we were doing quite well, like a 15x right now. So no complaints there. Again, this is one that I think a lot of people were sleeping on because they thought, well, there's dilution in NFT projects, NFT marketplace, even though I understand that's not all they do, but I think people were sleeping on Altura for that. And they were referencing it as like almost like a dino coin from the last cycle. It's not going to pump again. But here we are. The great thing about Altura is that there's no dilution. And again, it's a working product. They're on multiple chains here that we can see. They did go ahead and I believe, yep, have that Base integration as well. We know Base is going to be a hot chain this cycle. And Alex Becker has openly been talking about them again. They have their AI part of their ecosystem, I believe, that is coming out that they announced. And they just have a working product and they're integrated into so many other gaming projects as well. Everything just made sense for Altura to react this way, and it was beat up for so long and overlooked that just like GameSwift, I'm glad to see Altura performing the way it is. But just like GameSwift, let me know if you guys were here throughout the bear market with me, and if you were having your eyes on Altura, because if you were, you're sitting pretty good. Now, yes, admittedly, my Altura bag I haven't touched in a while, and I knew it was going to pump at one point. I mean, I didn't know, I shouldn't say that, but I had very strong conviction that it would pump at one point. But it has been frustrating, you know, to hold it, you know, throughout this year, throughout, you know, the last several months, because you don't know when. But this was admittedly one of those. They have a working product. The team hasn't gone anywhere. They have no dilution. But who's going to shill it? Probably the biggest gaming influencer, Alex Becker. And that's what we're seeing here. And I don't think he's done. I think Alex Becker, again, not that you should ever rely on influencers, and that's not exactly what we're doing here, but I do think that Alex Becker has the power to send Altura to surpass its previous all-time highs, but only time will tell where Altura goes this cycle. But either way, guys, there's just a couple highlights on a couple projects that we've been covering. Glad to see them performing the way they are. You love to see it. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of the gaming plays you guys hold that you're, you know, up on, or if you hold ones that haven't pumped, let me know. Let's talk about it if you guys have any questions. And as always, if you guys want an optional way of supporting the channel, there's a Patreon linked below. You can find out what I'm buying, what I'm getting into, what I'm looking at, or have a direct way of accessing or messaging me either through there or in the private channels of Discord, or there's a free Discord as well. You can join, get in there, ask questions, chat with others. And as always, guys, if you guys got value out of today's video, if you guys could like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.